Hello, good morning everyone. Welcome back to KIS Online. For today's lesson, we will learn the final part of our Unit 6. It's our lesson number 4. Are you ready? Alright, before we go to our lesson number 4, let's try to recall our past lessons. Lesson number 1, it's all about holiday verbs. Remember? Lesson number 2, imperatives. That's our lesson number 2. And lesson number 3, it's all about verbs in ing form. Alright, now, lesson number 4, it's still all about present continuous verbs in ing, but we will use it in sentences. Are you ready? I have here 6 sentences. And out of these 6 sentences, we will have our rules. Let's read first. Today, we're cycling in the mountains. He's eating paella. We aren't camping. I'm not shopping at the mall. Dad isn't cooking steak. I am traveling to Israel. Now, all of these sentences are happening right now. All of these 6 sentences, they are happening in progress now. How? How will we know it? Remember, verbs in ing. Remember? Number 1 sentence, we use cycling. This is rule number 2. We remove the E and then add ing. Eating. Rule number 1, we just put ing. Camping. So rule number 1, just put ing. I'm not shopping. This is rule number 3. Double the consonant and then add ing. That's shopping. Number 5, the verb is cooking. Rule number 1, just add ing. And then last will be traveling. Rule number 3 again. Double the consonant and then add ing. That's why in learning rules in changing verbs to ing are very important. You have to remember the 3 rules. Rule number 1, most verbs we just add ing. Rule number 2, verbs that ends with e, we remove the e and then add ing. Rule number 3, verbs that ends with consonant, vowel, consonant, we double the consonant and then we add ing. Now, we use this in a sentence. That's why we have this 6 sentences. What we are going to learn for today is we need to scrutinize. We need to dig deep. How did we use the sentences? Today, we're cycling on the mountains. Take note of the word where. This is the short for we are. We are. Next, his. This is the short for he is. Now, number 1, we are, were. He is, his. Number 3, we aren't, are not. Short for are not. We have where, we have his, we have aren't, or short for are not. I'm not. Short for I am. I'm. Negative not. Short for I am. isn't. Isn't. Short for is not. Is not. And then last, I am. This one is negative. I'm not, but this one is I am. No need to use the contraction. I am. Alright, now let's summarize. Verbs, ing, okay? But in using it in a sentences, it always comes with is, are, am. We cannot use verbs in ing without is. We cannot use verbs in ing without are. We cannot use verbs in ing in a sentence without the word am. Okay, now take a closer look. Number 1, today we, plural. That's why we use are. We are cycling. That's the short for we are. We meaning plural. Plural subject, we use are. Plural subject, we use are. That's why we are. And then we contract it, were. Today, we're cycling in the mountains. Next, his. He. Singular. We use is. Singular. We use is. He is eating paella. Okay, next. We use plural are. But this is a negative. That's why we use aren't. Okay? The same rule. Plural, we use the negative aren't. I'm not shopping at the mall. I'm not. But before we go with this negative, we go to the affirmative. I am. So we use I am. I'm not for the negative. I put here contraction, I'm, and then you use not. Okay? And then last, dad, singular. Dad isn't. We use is not, the short for isn't. 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 We're done. We're done. Okay, again. Is, are, and then am. This is for affirmative sentence. This side is for negative sentence. In writing sentences, always look for the subject. If your subject is singular, we can use is, isn't. Only two. Again, if our subject is singular, we can use is, isn't. Teacher, what about he? Singular. She, singular. It, singular. The same rule applies. We use is for affirmative, isn't for negative. Next, are. We use we, plural. We, plural. What about I? We use am. You are. We are. They are. For plural subject, we use are. For plural subject, we use are. For negative sentence, we use aren't. We use aren't. And for I, this is the special pronoun, personal pronoun, we use I am, no other. We cannot use is, we cannot use are. For I pronoun, we use am for affirmative, and we use I'm not for negative. That's it. Easy. Okay? So, remember, in writing present continuous sentences, we use verbs in ing. And we use the verb to be before the verb ing. That's why in singular, we use is for affirmative, isn't for negative. Again, he, she, is, and singular subject, we use is for affirmative, isn't for negative. What about for plural? We, they, you, we use are for affirmative, aren't for negative. And for personal pronoun I, we use am for affirmative. I am traveling to Israel. Am for affirmative. And for negative, I am not. And we short the I am. That's why I'm not shopping at the mall. 6 sentences, 3 sets of rules. Check the subject. Check whether affirmative sentence or a negative sentence. Alright, that's all for today. I know you want more exercises then. Remember these 3 sets of rules. Check the subject, check if it is affirmative, and check if it is negative. And for singular, we use is for affirmative, isn't for negative. For plural subject, we use are for affirmative, aren't for negative. And for personal pronoun I, we use only one, am for affirmative, I'm not for negative. Memorize this, write this on your notebook, and think. On your next video, you will have exercises, and then you will choose is, are, is, isn't, are, aren't, I am, I'm not. Thank you for watching and see you on next video. God bless, be safe, and goodbye.